All right, so we have all of the food. First off, I don't want you guys to think that I'm going to consume all of this food out there, but I like a wide variety of things to eat while hiking or running. One, I sometimes lose my appetite really easily, especially during exercise. As many of you may know, I'm the queen of throwing up before or during ultra marathons. My stomach and me are not friends, but I usually do pretty good with hiking. I had no issues hiking with in Zion. Actually, when I did rim to rim, I should have brought more food, so I feel pretty good about this. So the only other things that I don't have that I'm gonna show you here that I might snag once I land so they don't get smashed in my bag while traveling, it's probably some salt and vinegar chips, because those are like my go-to. But besides that, I have a ton of stuff. A lot of this, as I showed you earlier, Target, Kroger, you can get a lot of things at Walmart. Don't overthink your hiking nutrition. So again, keep in mind that I'm packing things for like 3 30-mile days in a row, and luckily we'll be able to restock and replenish each day. So I'll probably bring a little more than I need so I can make sure that I like, after day 1, if I'm not feeling something from that day on day 2, I can, mix it up. But if you're just doing normal day hikes or just a one-day thing, you don't need to be as extensive in your planning as this. So like I said, we are doing 94 miles over 3 days. So I will try to roughly eat probably between 250 to 350 calories per hour on the trail out there. Again, that could be more mixed macro. So say we are going to be hiking, let's say, we'll go 11 hours a day. So 11, we'll do times 300, about 3,000 to 3,500 calories a day, probably. Give or take, some days we might be hiking for longer. So I'm going to need a lot of food. The nice thing about trail foods, and this is the goal, is we want to think of calorie density, right? So you want foods that are a lot of bang for your buck, because we don't really want to spend our whole day eating on trail. I mean, snacks are fun, but I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I just get sick of feeding myself out there all of the time. You have to get your pack, it's your thing. You're exercising, you're moving, but you want to keep up with your nutrition. So I think of things that are calorie dense are just really easy to get down the hatch, as I like to say. So I'm gonna show you some of the things that I got. So first off, as I mentioned, protein is going to be really hard to get in, but we still want to get protein in. We need to recover. We are doing, exercise all day long. It's gonna be really hard to do this with running, but with hiking, again, you aren't digesting as slowly, so you can kind of get a little bit more in. So the biggest things I have for protein is I have these Crave beef jerkies. I get these at Kroger or Target. That's where I've seen them before. I think Walmart sells them. They're pretty popular. I love the sweet chipotle flavor. That's my favorite. I'm not a big beef jerky person, so this is like the only branded type that I actually found that I like. I have Builder's protein bars, a couple of these. They got 20 grams of protein. These are pretty high in calories for like a day-to-day protein bar, but I really like these. They're probably one of my favorite protein bars on the market. I found these are probably more of a carb, but I found these Slammers crushed superfood snack burst watermelon kiwi. I found this at Target, but I saw them at Kroger, so they must be new. But they have 7 grams of protein in them, which is not actually too bad, because they're like 80 calories each, so I could probably easily eat all 4 of these in a day, which is like a whole serving of protein, which is actually really, really nice, because like it's kind of gross to drink whey protein when you're on trail, so it's nice to have it hiding in food. Okay, actually, I'm gonna do a taste test of one of these Slammers, because I still need to run today, but it's hotter than sin here in Georgia, and I'm not gonna do it. So I am gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it like in an hour or 2. So again, a Slammer superfood, watermelon kiwi, protein in it. Okay, it's not bad. It does taste a little bit like baby food, but not in a bad way. But you can tell that it has banana, that's what it is. So I'm not a big banana fan, but I'll tolerate this. So there's like those Springer gels for running that are like banana based that everyone raves about. I don't really like banana, but this is fine. I can tolerate this. You know how you can tell that things have whey protein in them? You know how like you can tell if you're drinking like a smoothie, if it's not like high quality Legion protein, right? But anyway, these are like honestly not that bad. The banana threw me off because I wasn't expecting it. And I don't love banana, but it's masked enough by the watermelon and apple. You can tell there's apple in it. Honestly, for 7 grams of protein snuck into this, probably honestly start consuming these a lot more. I still like the Go-Go applesauce squeezes a little bit more like for viscosity, but we all suck at getting protein in, right? And if I can sneak some protein into my body while I'm doing endurance training to help aid in my gains, I'm gonna do that. So I think it's worth a try. Slammers, they should pay me for this. And then a lot of things, like I got these Go Macro bars, which have 11 grams each. So just more mixed macro items. on the trail. So these have a little bit more fat, like these have 11 grams of fat. So you can tolerate a little bit more, so you can have more of those mixed food items. So I have the macro bars. Rei just got me in on these Bobo Bars. These are largely carbohydrate based. They've got 31 grams of carbs and some good bit of fat. Bobos are really freaking good. They're like basically an oatmeal bar. They're really, really, really good. But I got the lemon poppy seed and the chocolate peanut butter chip of that. And then, as we all know, I got some Snickers. I got a couple almond ones and a couple of regular ones. Snickers are my ultra marathon long hike guilty pleasure, if you want to call it. But honestly, Snickers are like basically a protein bar. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, not literally, don't quote me on that. But they've got a good, I mean, they have a lot of fat. They're a candy bar. But they have like 32 grams of carbs too, which isn't really too bad. And 4 grams of protein is like nothing, but they're really easy to get down the hatch. People always ask me, how do I stop them from melting? And luckily, it's actually gonna be pretty cold comparatively to what I'm living at in Georgia here in America's armpit. But they melt and you just like drink them like a goo. You just have like a chocolate sludge pack, like. Sorry, Luke, that cut me off. I don't know when my camera turned off. And then last thing is probably one of the most important things when it comes to nutrition. A lot of this is kind of just get as many calories down the hatch as you possibly can into your body, kind of just keeping up with eating. There's a few things I got in there that I didn't show you that were like gummies, honey stinger waffles, cinnamon toast crunch remix. But really, the most important thing, and I know everyone thinks I push electrolytes, like it's like I'm telling you guys to consume some supplement that's gonna like kill you on the spot, but liquid IV, baby. These have 500 milligrams of sodium per pack, and I will probably honestly consume, I would say 1 an hour, but probably not. I'm gonna probably be sweating, but it's really a lot colder there. I think the temperatures are supposed to be in the 60s, maybe 70s. So, and it's the Pacific Northwest. So I think the humidity won't be as bad as what I'm acclimatized to here with the heat either. So I might not be sweating as much, but you're gonna be moving a lot. So I still will probably be sweating enough to lose electrolytes. So I probably won't consume maybe 1 of these an hour, but I will be consuming multiple of these in a day. I'll probably play it by ear to see how I feel while I'm out there, but I will basically just bring these packets individually and toss them in my pack. Since we're doing vest, we're just gonna do 2 bottles. It's really nice. There's so many river crossings with all around. There's glacier melt runoff. So there's river crossings everywhere. So I really only have to bring a filter bottle and then a secondary bottle. So I'll just bring a bunch of those in there. And then in the non-filter bottle, I'll just toss them in with it. And then I also have Tailwind. I don't know if I'm gonna use this or not yet. I again think I'll be able to eat enough real whole foods. I will probably bring this just in case by day 3, if I'm sick of eating, I will drink carbs. So that is my nutrition roundup. What I will probably do now is count out how many calories I need total for those 3 days. I'm gonna pack about 10,000 calories worth of food for those days. I will just make the call now that I'm gonna undereat because I am really bad about that. But I will try not to, especially the first 2 days, because I know how important that will be for recovery, and I'm always thinking of my future self, you know? So we will probably time it out. So really just aiming that 200 to 300 calories an hour, it just means you're kind of taking a snack in every single hour, right? So like I have these slammers, so like those are 80. So if I had like 2 of those and then maybe a little bit of beef jerky, or like fruit strips are 50 calories. So like a few of these and maybe like half a go macro color, or just 1 of these bars. It is hard to keep up with, and if my intensity is lower than I anticipate, then I'll slide back those calories closer to 200 to 250 versus the higher end. But if I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat. If I'm hurting, I'm gonna eat. If I'm cranky, I'm gonna eat. If I'm crabby, I'm gonna eat. The general rule of thumb is that no matter what emotion you feel when you're trail running or hiking or whatever it is, you probably just need carbs. If you're cranky, eat carbs. If you're sad, eat carbs. If you're happy, eat carbs, because you probably won't be soon because your sugar is gonna drop. And that's just basically the rule of thumb I follow in my life. And when in doubt, shove gummy worms in and it fixes everything. So, totaled it up. Got a nice little Excel document over here. Turns out, I'm gonna have to eat a lot more of that than I thought I was going to. I have a little more than I need though. I did the math. 6 Snickers, 2 Builder Bars, 3 my macro bars, a bag of watermelon gummies, a bag of gummy worms, Slammers, Bobos, honey stingers, applesauce, jerky, fruit strips, Nature's Baked oatmeal bars, cream of wheat, peanut butter, and it's like 11,000 calories for the 3 days, which is like 3,700 per day, which I won't need because that includes breakfast, but that also doesn't include dinner. We will be eating dinner at night. So what I will probably do is I will pack roughly 2/3 of each of that, because I think that would be about 2/3 of that is about 2,400 calories a day, which is probably good if I eat dinner with it too as well, give or take some extra things. So probably gonna pack what I showed you guys in an appropriate amount, and we'll see. So let's go. Okay, I split my stuff up into thirds, so I've got 3 bags, 1 for each day. This is about 2,000 to 2,500 calories, something like that. I did the math of what I have in here each day. Divided by 3, I mean, 1 or 2 of the days are longer than the other one. We have like one day that's only 26 miles and the other ones are like 30 plus, so I might have to rearrange or add some extra to those other bags, but roughly equal each day. I've got 2 Snickers, 1 Go Macro Bar, 2 Honey Stingers, 2 Burst, 3 applesauce packets, 2 servings of watermelon gummies, 1 Nature's Bar thing. I've got 4 liquid IVs, 4 gummy strips, and breakfast. So I think that's it. Let's freaking go. But that's it. That is the nutrition side of things. But really, it's just hiking. It's just hiking and running kind of mixed in one. And so it's a game of how much food can you eat and how fast can you go. And that's it. So let's go on the gear. I don't know what this is. Well, I don't even know. We'll leave that in there. All right, so the moment we've all been waiting for. I think I get asked more gear questions than anything else. If you missed it, I did a video before my 100K that goes over all the gear that I've packed, prepped, brought with me for that race, a 64-mile race. This is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be a 94-mile hike over the course of 3 days. So my gear is gonna look a little different. Originally, Chrissy and I planned to fast pack this / backpack, fast pack type thing. So we would have been bringing all of our gear on our back, carrying it with us. And we now are essentially doing a supported through hike, I guess you could call it, over the course of 3 days. So Chrissy has a friend who's gonna drive around and like kind of get our campsites for us, help get that set up, all that jazz. So we don't have to bring all that stuff in our back. So you could think of how I'm packing and preparing for this very similar to how I do like maybe an ultra, give or take. My food situation was a little different, which you saw or will see in that part of the video. So gear-wise, I'm treating this as a really long day hike, which can be very similar to an ultra. So packing really very similar to that, but then also needing camp supplies. So first things first, camping, that kind of gear. I want to kind of have you guys keep in mind that a lot of what I have, I've either accumulated over the last like 6 years now of doing this. You don't need super hyper fancy gear to start. This is just what I have. I also have gear with Regis. You know, we share that stuff. So first things, I'm going to be bringing Regis's Big Agnes tent. This is a 2-person Big Agnes. I think this is an older one. Well, yeah, it is because he's had this since before we started dating. It's technically a 2-person one. This is the same tent that I brought with Bethany and she has a 1-person tent. So when we went to Zion, we both brought these with us. This is a little more of a backpacking friendly tent. So this is the one I would have brought either way. Ideally in the long term, I'm gonna get like a 1-person one of these, or I'd like share this tent with another person and we'd sleep in it together. But I'll bring this, sleep in my own. It's comfortable with 1 person, a little bit tight too. Otherwise, I don't have it down right now, but I have an Rei Half Dome. If you're looking for a more friendly beginner tent, more affordable, something, especially if you're car camping, I've had my Rei Half Dome since like 2017 and we use it a lot, and I really, really like that tent, a lot of space. 2 people fit really comfortably in it, but if you add 3, you can fit in it as well. So I could have that, but there's no need, so I'm not gonna bring it. I use a Thermarest Z Lite sleeping pad. This is the accordion style one. There's blow up ones, there's Sea to Summit, or like all these brands where they are fancy, they blow up, kind of sleep on them. Honestly, I just really like this one. It's really simple. If I was to backpack or fast pack, I'd definitely bring this. There's a high risk of those things popping or deflating. I've had this one for years now and I'm super happy with it. It does the trick. I also feel like you don't move around as much like with the blow up ones. I think they are a little nicer now, but Regis has one and I've slept on it before and it's good, but it doesn't do anything more or less for me than these. And also if you're a beginner starting out, these kind of sleeping pads are cheap. They're really budget friendly. You can get them like REI, your local outdoor store, order them online. If you're trying to spare weight because you're backpacking, hiking, some people cut them, so they want to keep them for like just your lower back when you're sleeping, or your back only and let your legs lay on the ground, yada yada, whatever. So Thermarest Z-Lite, I've been using this for years, really love it, cheap, affordable. I did, however, have a whole pile of my gear here, guys. Look at this. We've got all of the I did get a new sleeping bag. Very excited about this. I ordered it when I thought that we were gonna have to carry our stuff on our back, because I have a Marmot sleeping bag from a few years ago that I got on Steven Cheap, which is backcountries.com's discount website if you're looking for this kind of gear. I do have backcountries.com link though, which is also just kind of gear, which I will share in below, or my bio link if you're coming from Instagram, wherever you're at. So I needed a new sleeping bag. I needed one anyway. When I went backpacking with Bethany to Zion, that took up like over half of my pack, pain in the ass. So I don't want that, especially if I'm gonna start doing bigger trips like this. So I got this new one from REI. I haven't tried it yet, so I cannot vouch for its quality, but I'm really happy with this. So if I was backpacking, I would compress it all the way down, cinch it really tight in a stuff sack, so it's taking up less total volume in my bag. But again, it doesn't matter because someone's carrying my shit around for me. So I'm still gonna use it. I'll still try it back. I will report back on it, but it's a sleeping bag, so I probably like it. That's the stuff sack that comes with it. Otherwise, you can buy them separately. Next thing, moving on to hiking specific gear, because I know that's a big thing that people love. I forgot, I have a little sleeper pillow. This is Regis. I have no idea what it is, but any old sleeping pillow works. Since we are being supported, what I will be bringing for the trail is my Ultimate Direction pack. I have a few different Ultimate Direction packs. If we were gonna fast pack, I was gonna use either my 20 or 30 liter fast pack through them, the Fast Her pack. That was my plan. But now we're just moving fast all day. And so this is their Mountain Pack, Ultra Pack. I think it's their Mountain Pack. It's the biggest pack they have for women. I'll make sure to link it here as well for you. This is the one that I did my 100K with, Grand Canyon rim to rim to rim. All of my training with last year. It is the biggest trail pack that they offer for women. So essentially what that means is you're getting a lot more pockets. So you have a lot more space to fill with stuff. I have other packs from them that have less space because I don't need that much for shorter day runs or shorter races. We have like, this is like if you have a radio or an inReach, I usually put my headphone case in there. A bottle pack, a Burrito Pack is what this is called, but it's a bigger pack in the front. I will use either my phone or another water bottle. You've got stuff sack pockets all through the front. You can do easy grab and go food. This one zippers if you need to close it. Really easy reachable pockets all through that. And then in the back, I don't use bladders, I use bottles, and I'll show you that here in a second, but there is a pocket here for a bladder if you use that or you need that. And then you have multiple pockets here. They all hook and cinch so you can tighten it up real tight when it's on your back. I have my bear bell in here right now. So you have the front pack here for really easy access. And then you have another little top pack here that will cinch shut. And then you have your big middle zipper compartment. And so the biggest thing that's different between this pack and others is I can fit, I think it's like maybe 15 liters, maybe 13 to 14, I could be off, liters worth of stuff here in the pack. I'm really happy with this. I've had or have 4 Ultimate Direction packs now. I got this one specifically at the time. I had the older version of it as well because there's so much space. And when you're doing these big mountain outdoor days, you have to bring so much food. You might be bringing changes of clothes. So again, if you're not doing really bigger stuff, you can have smaller versions of the packs. All of their packs and their line they're built very similarly. They just have more space or more features or less based off your needs essentially. And so that's why I have this one and I love it. So this is what I'll be using because I'm gonna have to bring tons of food, stuff it all in there throughout the day. But the thing that's really nice about these is they have all these drawstrings and you can tighten them up, adjust it, adjust around your breast, adjust around your waist, adjust as you need, especially as you go and your pack shrinks or grows with you. The pack that I'll be hiking around Mount Rainier. When it comes to hydration, Ultimate Direction packs come with these bottles. I will link my Ultimate Direction links in the comments here or on my bio link as always so you can shop and it supports me and I will greatly appreciate that. So I use these. What I'm probably gonna do is I honestly don't even think I'm gonna need 3 bottles. I think I'm gonna need 2. The nice thing about Mount Rainier area is that you have these glacial river runoffs all over. So water is not an issue, and it's not going to be extremely hot. So it's not going to be super hot, and there's going to be easy water access. So what I am going to be bringing, and I know Christy's doing as well, is just bringing a filter water bottle. So I use a Cadron filter bottle. You can get this on Amazon, REI, I think backcountry.com. Again, who's Backcountry link that supports me. We use these, especially, and we live in the Southeast in the US, so there's always water pretty much everywhere in most places we're going. So I don't use bladders. I really don't like bladders. I prefer bottles in general, but you can fill this up and then you can just open it up and squeeze it to refill this one if you need this other bottle. So that's kind of what we do on a lot of our long runs. Next things next, I will be hiking in my favorite Wazelle pocket jogger shorts. I run all of my ultras in these. I run in these. I hike in these. I backpack in these. I do everything in these. I need fabric between my legs. Your girl's got big thighs. As you know, they rub, they chafe. I don't want that. I can, if it was one day, hike in shorter shorts, but I need to not chafe on day one so that I can make it to day 2 and day 3. So I'd rather just put fabric between my legs. That's gonna make it easier. It's gonna be a little cooler while we're out there. So I may bring a few pairs of Fabletics Capris-ish leggings. If it's cold enough for me to wear them, I might, but I'd rather wear shorts probably and then have like layers up top. This is what I will bring and wear. And then I have another pair of Wazelle spandex shorts that I'll bring. I don't remember the name of them. I honestly don't remember. But really, the pocket joggers are my absolute favorite. I use them. They also have a pocket on the side, which is nice. I'll just carry my phone in there usually. So when I grab it, take some pics, whatever I want to do, share an Instagram story, it is right there. Top wise, any oil moisture and stuff, like I said, I have a couple Wazelle tank tops. I have like a lot of Viore stuff I really like. I'll also bring a lot of my Viore favorite pieces for like joggers, for camping, around the campsite, maybe a pullover or something like that. But really just normal running clothes is what I'm gonna hike in, whatever I find comfortable for that. So a couple pairs of spandex shorts, a couple tank tops, and then I have a couple long sleeves either through Wazelle or Fabletics, or I have an Ultimate Direction zip up that I use. So really just kind of the little pieces that I have hanging around that I would run in and would feel good sweating in, and that's what I'm gonna hike in. So it really works. The only big difference that I would say to consider, is I learned this when I was in Scion, is that if I was backpacking, I would probably have bought a few t-shirts instead of tank tops, just because of the way the straps rubbed on me. You girls got muscles. But I have my running pack and I know how that fits me, so tank tops it is. But I probably will bring some long sleeves because again, I'm heat adapted and it is actually gonna be pretty chilly out there compared to what I've been training in here. So we'll see. I just want to make sure I'm prepared so I'm comfortable, but I'm sure once I'm moving and grooving, I'll be sweating and ready to rock. So other things that I'm bringing, I will not hike in my puffy, but I'll bring my favorite Patagonia puffy. I have this linked in my backcountry.com. It's just their nano puff. I love this jacket. I bought it on a whim and I have zero regrets. I love it. I wear it everywhere. I'll bring this for sleeping or hanging around the campsite at night. I have not decided. I have 2 Ultimate Direction jackets. This one is their Ultra jacket, and I use this for pretty much everything. This one is a little bit more rainproof, so usually it's a thinner, lighter rain jacket. But they just sent me their new Venture windshield, and I haven't tried it out yet, but it is really thin. But I really like this, and it's not supposed to rain, so I think I'm gonna bring this one because it's less heavy, just a lighter layer, just something nice to have just in case it's a little windy or anything like that. So I'll probably bring this one and try that out. But I've worn this one, I wore this one in my 100K, and I also have hiked in it and stuff like that. And I run in it when it's raining as well, and I really like that jacket, so I might pack both. We'll see. But I'm gonna bring one of those 2, and then I will just keep a couple running hats. I have these 2 Arc'teryx hat. This one's more of a trucker hat. This one's more of a running hat. It's more fitted, more shorty material. Probably bring both of these. Big fan of hats. I love protecting myself from the sun, as you guys know. These are my SunCloud sunglasses that I love, so I'll rock these. Protect my eyeballs from the sun as well. And that's really it. I have a couple bandanas and buffs packed. I usually wear buffs on my head, so I have this Eddie Bauer one, a buff brand one. I have an Outdoor Research one that I really love, and here that's a little bit more moisture-wicking material. Maybe wear that as a headband or around my neck. And then I love wearing bandanas around my neck to protect my neck from the sun, or it helps with my hair sticking to my neck when I'm sweating, picking up that sweat. These I find random boutiques. REI has them. You can kind of find them everywhere. So I don't pick up anything fancy with those. They're gross. They're going to absorb the sweat. They're not really moisture wicking, but they serve their purpose, and that's exactly what I use them for. So I think that's pretty much it. The only other things that I'll bring with me is a medical kit. in my pack just in case anything happens. You can find these on Amazon. I think I have it linked in my Amazon page. And then squirrel's nut butter, because we don't want to chafe. Not on day 1 especially, and definitely not on day 2. Tums, because my stomach sucks, as we all know if we follow the whole series. And headlamp. A lot of this stuff I have or I've had, and I'll use it over and over again for years, so it's nice to invest in and get that started, getting things that allow me to support the goals that I have. But again, you can start small with a few things that you need, and as you can see, I cross-dabble between the clothes that I wear working out, running, and hiking. You don't need a whole new wardrobe for all those things. And a lot of this gear is stuff that I buy, and I can keep that forever for a good few years before I move on to something maybe bigger and better if I need that, or just replacing it with something new. But gear lasts if you take care of it. If you're interested in doing these things, I'm going to link my ultimate direction links for you. I will also link my backcountry.com links, and I also have a blog post where I've picked all my favorite gear, some of the duffel bags I use, some of the things I wear like this sweater are linked in there, my puffy, stuff like that. So if you'd like to support me, appreciate this, you found this really helpful by shopping those links, it does help support me, you get a little bit of kickback from that, so I'm always appreciative of it. So awesome. Thank you so much, and let's go freaking hike around Mount Rainier, guys. Woo-hoo!